Hi, everyone. It's January 11, 2020. Good news. 100% contained the fire in Wares Valley, Tennessee. Oh, I was looking at the satellite right after I posted this, and I was not liking what I was seeing with all of the frequencies that were showing up in the clouds. But in truth, by grace, you said maybe the storm will put it out. I believe that happened because when I did go over to the satellite, I saw what looked like an awful lot of rain happening right over where this fire was. Okay, good news. No one hurt, no damage, except to the trees and perhaps wildlife. All right. Do you see this? Now, this is right now. This is happening as I speak. Look at this extremely low frequency. My God. Okay. We have some very, very strange happenings on radar, on satellite. And it's quite obvious that our weather is no longer natural. It is absolutely 100% being controlled. Do you see all of the frequencies? Look at this. Well, this has been a deadly storm, a destructive storm. And if you don't know what the signatures are, the very defined lines that you see, these defined circular patterns, the serrated edge, that's a sawtooth frequency, the long lines that jut out. And you know what? I've never seen an extremely low frequency travel, but here we go. That's an extremely low frequency. The circular lines are the Doppler radar. And the ripples that you see, microwaves. I want to show you what's been going on. And really, now it's so obvious that all of this is man-made. And I have a neighbor, she's 65. She's she never went to college. She worked in a factory her entire life. And she keeps saying she's not very smart, she's not smart, she's not smart. I have to say, she's the only one that I can now talk to about this, because today, here, this is where I live in Anderson, South Carolina. It was 70 degrees, and all she kept saying was, this weather, I've never, 65 years living in South Carolina, in this area, never has she seen weather like she's been seeing and experiencing, obviously, in these recent weeks. So she said the other day, I'm now seeing that something's wrong. And she believes me when I tell her that our weather is being controlled. It's really fascinating that I've had so many of those highly educated people in my life. They won't even engage in conversation. And I get why people say the more education somebody has, the more closed-minded they become. And this woman is open-minded. So today, 70 degrees. She just kept remarking, I can't believe this weather. I cannot believe this weather. And then I asked her what was it going to be, because she watches local news, local weather reports. And she said, well, we're supposed to get heavy rain, I think. I guess if they want us to have the heavy rain. Okay, so look at this thing. My God. All right. I've been watching this all day and, well, you know, bringing it up every now and then throughout the day. And this thing has been so fried with frequencies. It's really remarkable. I've never seen an extremely low frequency quite like it. So this is what I captured earlier. This was at 7:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today. Look at all of the high frequency heating coming from our Doppler radar stations. But okay, I want to show you. Look at this thing. Okay, look at how defined a rectangle this thing is. 11 people died. 11 so far. Look at this. The frequency right here. Frequency, sawtooth. So unbelievably defined, but look at what is happening at the end. You know what? I really hope that I don't bump into somebody and they tell me they're a meteorologist, because I will have an awful lot to say to them. So these deadly storms, destructive storms, you see two lines of the heavier precipitation. You see the HAARP next red ring down here. You see all of these tiny little squares develop. This, how can meteorologists, how do they friggin' sleep at night? I don't get it. I am so baffled by people. And again, it's still in the Gulf. It's still in the Gulf. And it stretches to Canada. Okay. It's scary what is happening to the human race. Really. It's just scary. And this thing becomes well, now they're calling them training storms. So it becomes 2. And I think this is, yes, you can see the 2 right down here. Move it along. Right here. All right, I'm not going to point out every frequency. Perhaps I am a little too crazed with documenting all of this. So let's just, this is what it, look at this thing. And this thin stretch of severe storm. I'm so unbelievably just sick of it all. I watching tornadoes rip through the South as the Midwest gets hit with snow.
Good evening, I'm Rena Ninen. Tonight, a powerful winter storm is unleashing an outbreak of tornadoes across the South. Drone video shows the path of devastation left behind. Tornadoes were confirmed in Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. The storm is being blamed for at least 10 deaths. In the Midwest, snow and ice are making conditions downright treacherous. 150 million Americans are under weather alerts tonight. Omar Villafranca leading us off from Louisiana.
For a second day, powerful storms tore through the South. tornado touched down west of Tuscaloosa, Alabama this morning, killing at least 3 people and leaving a trail of debris. From the air, you can see the destruction in northwest Louisiana. Officials say that 3 people were killed in this part of the Bayou State after fast-moving storms pounded the area last night. This mangled pile of wood is all that's left of a home ripped off its foundation in Houghton, Louisiana. The National Weather Service says an EF2 tornado killed the man and woman who lived in the house.
It's really sad. It's just all gone.
Glenn Jones rode the storm out in his camper and says he's blessed to be alive.
Roaring and sounded like everything just popping and it just roaring like a train.
What was it like inside your camper?
Oh, it was shaking. I mean, it was just shaking.
Did you think it was going to go?
Yeah, I thought it was, and all I could do was pray.
The storm also dumped several inches of rain. Heavy downpours in Little Rock, Arkansas turned streets into rivers. In Texas, widespread flooding caused accidents across the state. Heavy winds hammered this Houston gas station. And in San Antonio, firefighters say lightning charred the roof of this home. No one was injured. And where there wasn't wind and water, there was snow. This is Denton, where a winter weather advisory is in effect for parts of North Texas. In Missouri, sleet and freezing rain slowed down the morning commute.
Cleanup is underway here in northwest Louisiana. One of the big problems, all of the trees. And you can see over here at this home, this tree sliced through this house. Good news, nobody inside was hurt. Now, the National Weather Service says the tornado that was on the ground had wind speeds of 135 miles per hour and left a path of destruction that was almost continuous for 25 miles.
Oh, man. This is a weapon. It's a weapon. It's a weather weapon. People are dying. Animals. The trees are so unbelievably sick. Denton. Okay. My Plano subscriber. Denton? Really? You get snow in this area? This much? People aren't questioning what's going on. How can people not question what's going on? How? This is Carrollton, Alabama. Tornadoes come with every forecast now, possible tornado. This is highly unusual. Really? Do people think tornadoes come about because of climate change? You know, I have to wonder if they've lost control. If they have lost control now. Earthquakes, Puerto Rico, the fires in Australia, these tornadoes that are erupting. I got a tornado warning today, or not today, it was tonight. Are people not? Wow, man. Unless people do begin to recognize that something very odd is happening, and then they do some research to find out what it might be, we're going to be seeing this with a frequency this year. I think it's going to be. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Oh, we're now getting a thunderstorm. We're now getting a thunderstorm. You know, people losing homes, losing their life, losing their farms, animals dying. And it's the toll. the numbers just keep adding up. They just keep adding up. And yeah, it's pretty scary. I can't play this video, but this was in Midway, Arkansas. Tornado damage. The home literally just, this is where it was, and it ended up in the bushes. I mean, homes are just left rubble. They're rubble. Arkansas, Louisiana, Alabama. We didn't have tornadoes. All right. This is in Louisiana. Doesn't say where. And I do not know how people are going to, recover from all of this. I'd love, look at all of these trees down, but this is a tornado. So you have all of these trees flattened, but the homes and everything around it are fine. So, when I say this, these tornadoes now just bounce all over the place, bounce up and then come down and take out trees. And, well, I would say that the winds, took out vulnerable trees that were sick, have very weak immune systems, and can't withstand the winds that they are creating with these electromagnetic frequencies. But nobody even looks at the trees. This is today that I got, well, not too long ago, I'm sorry. So, ironically, I was on radar. I was looking at the radar, and all of a sudden, I get this emergency alert, tornado warning, till 8:30. I just flipped it closed. I was like, oh God, Well, the reason why I went to to look at the radar was because the hissing, that it got so loud, and I began to experience pain in my left ear, pulsating pain. So I just wanted to check it out. So this was at 7:07, and it's playing and nothing's happening. Okay, this is bizarre because I just queued it up, got it ready for this video, and it was fine. Now, nothing. Hang on. Don't ask me. Here it is. All right. So, I had to see, there's a lot of frequencies in the area where I'm living. This hissing still is going on, by the way. So this was at 7:07 p.m. And then just within a few minutes, I get this emergency alert. But you guys in this area, did you suddenly, well, what is referred to as tinnitus, did it suddenly get really loud? Did you feel any of those, sharp, high-pitched tones? Did you have an earache? Did you feel not quite right? I wanted to see if there were frequencies blasting off, and it still has that. Yeah. All right, the one that I showed you earlier was, it kept its rectangle shape. Look at all of these frequencies. All right, but what was happening in hang on. Well, as you can see, all of the frequencies, the top of the storm up here, oh, it stretches on up into Canada, and all of the HARP next red blasting away. The extremely low frequencies right here. You've got ripple patterns now that we see very clearly within the precipitation. But this was, we never saw this kind of, radar has changed greatly. But with the use of nanotechnology that they're using with our weather, well, I think it's giving us a distinctly different look to it. This is it, I'm sorry. So, yeah, I get this tornado warning. I'm looking at this and high frequency heating. This was at 8 o'clock. So I can see faint, faint captures of these extremely low frequencies taking place in this. The microwaves are on, blasting away. As you can see, all of these ripples. You see an extremely low frequency shot down here. Takes on a straight edge right here, which is right around Anderson. Extremely low frequency right there. So I'm not surprised, you know, that I suddenly, it's so loud. I'm feeling weird. Yeah. But you know what? That this is life is really, I mean, this is our life. Well, I don't like that. So, this is the Brindlee Mountain Primary School in Huntsville, Alabama.
The school staff is walking around to show me just how bad the damage is. There are trees down, fencing, roofing, and much more all over the place. First responders on scene earlier told me there's severe damage to the gym, several classrooms, the main office, and the cafeteria. The superintendent of the Marshall County school system told me she's just thankful none of her kids and staff were here at the time of the storm.
Okay, let me ask you something. They're not saying that this was, in Huntsville, a tornado. They don't mention that this is a tornado. This was high winds that do this kind of damage to a school. Look at the tree. As you can see, fungal disease weakening the tree. So that school, well, they now will have a meeting tomorrow about what to do with all of the students that go to this school. All right, earthquake, another one in Puerto Rico, a 5.9.
No dio duro esta vez. No dio duro.
Y así está San Juan el día de hoy. Solo muy poquitos edificios tienen luz.
Una escuela, no sé cómo se llama, pero directamente corazón. Miren, ahora mismo, está ahí mismo, miren.
And that's the earthquake on the 7th that took out power for the entire island. Some areas have gotten back their power. Other areas, they're saying that it will take about a year. A year for them to get power back? Is something wrong with that? Like the color of that sky? So,
with a 5.9 magnitude rattled Puerto Rico Saturday morning. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, it struck at 8:54 a.m. local time, 8 miles southeast of Guanica. Puerto Rico's Electric Power Authority is currently evaluating the damage, but there are reportedly outages across the island in areas such as Ponce, San German, and Adjuntas. No injuries have been reported. This is the latest occurrence in a string of earthquakes and aftershocks that have left thousands of locals without water and power. It's the strongest shake since Tuesday's 6.4 magnitude quake, which killed at least one man. Telemundo Puerto Rico reports that there was also a landslide in Penuelas that sent residents running. The governor of Puerto Rico, Wanda Vasquez, sent out this tweet noting that she was communicating with local officials that will continue to provide help. Many people on the island were left homeless after the quake, and some people are reportedly sleeping outside in fear that buildings could collapse.
Wow. Okay. Here are all the earthquakes in one day. One day. I thought I was on a 7 day. I'm on a 1 day. A 1 day? The 11th. The 11th. This is 1 day for Puerto Rico. 1 day. Now, watch. And look at the depth. I was pointing with my finger as if you could see it. Look at the depth. 7 kilometers. Okay? 7 kilometers. Here. Ah. More. On the 12th, Puerto Rico, you're still, aren't you? Are you a different time zone? Okay, maybe, because you've had now more earthquakes on the 12th. 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers. A 4.4, a 3.9, a 4.1 on the 12th, 4 kilometers. Shallow, 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 all shallow. 4.6, 8 kilometers. 3.5, 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers for 3.1, 7, 16. That's actually, when clicking through all of these, that was the deepest that I found. But this one, the 5.9, yesterday, 5 kilometers. Why am I focusing on the depth? Shallow earthquakes is a signature of frequencies, induced earthquakes by either extremely low frequencies coming from transmitter sites, or high frequency heating of the ionosphere from Doppler radar that pushes up the ionosphere, and then when they release that power and the frequency, that ionosphere comes shooting back down, releasing an extremely low frequency that comes right on down to the earth, and it can create an earthquake. But all of these very shallow earthquakes, and they're all very shallow. 16 was really the deepest But you have 10, 10, 10, 10. Oh my God, is that a signature of frequency induced? Nothing natural here. Nothing natural here. Nothing. So we're just going to watch this friggin' destruction all the friggin' time. That's... wow. Okay. Let me just show you something. This was a military document. This is a technology abstract from, I believe, Air Force 2025. Okay. Earthquake weapon. Ultrasonic or acoustic weapon to destroy runways, buildings, bridges. Weapon will generate a very strong acoustic wave, and the acoustic waves, those are the low end of our electromagnetic spectrum. The extremely low frequencies. Acoustic wave that causes structures to resonate and thereby destroy them. This has the advantage of being a destructive force that is not designed to kill people. Well, you bring down homes, if people are in them, there's a good likelihood that you could kill them. Destructive to structures and war-making potential. Our military has this weapon. Other militaries like Russia and China and Brazil and a whole lot have these weapons. So, how is it that since they've had these weapons for a very long time, how do we know if an earthquake is natural or induced by man? Well, one way we know is looking at how shallow the earthquakes are. High power, extremely low frequency radiation generated by modulated high frequency heating, Doppler radar. Doppler radar emits high frequencies. High frequencies can heat up the atmosphere. Whatever they decide to do, but the emission of a very, very powerful high frequency can go right on up to the ionosphere. And then, when they release it, that's when you get the high power, extremely low frequency, bouncing back to Earth. And that can cause earthquakes, cyclones, localized heating. Look at all of the ionospheric heaters. Now, this is a video on YouTube, Jim Lee, and you can put in the title, Worldwide Map of Ionospheric Heaters, extremely low frequency, very low frequency, lasers, and more. Wow, there's a lot of them, isn't there? Yeah, there are. In fact, there's one which is like a mini HARP station, very powerful, on the island of Puerto Rico. Ionospheric heaters. Why do they have so many? Do you think they just build them and then say, well, we're not going to use them. We just wanted to build one. Why do we have so many Doppler radar stations? Because if you're just tracking planes, you don't need all of these Doppler radar stations. You have all of these Doppler radar stations, and I'm sure there's more because this map is quite old. Because they can control weather. They can steer jet streams. They can move about air masses. They can intensify storms. They can bring about tornadoes. So the Doppler radar, that was the defined circular pattern that I show you on radar. That's what causes that signature. And of course, we have powerful, extremely low frequency transmitter sites. These, and this one is built in, well, this is a very old one, Cutler, Maine. 2 million watt, very low frequency. This site, and there's more sites, there's Clam Lake, Wisconsin. There's more, but haven't you seen these along the interstate? Don't you see these in your own communities? I have one that is about a mile away. Okay, these are extremely low frequency. These are Gwen towers. You put a whole lot together, and you've got a powerful weapon right here that can cause an awful lot of damage. Yes, I'm tired of seeing all of this. I'm tired of it. And how do we get through to people? I have no friggin' clue. None. None. All links are below.